and two angles. That's when we're going to be using the sine rule. So we want to find x here, and what's helpful to do is to label it in terms of A and B. So if this is side A, then this is going to be angle A, all right? And if this is side B, if this is side B, then this would be angle B. Now we don't have a measurement there. What does it say here? 19. That should say 19 centimeters. And so then we've got the two representations for sine rule. All right. When we're trying to find a side, this one's easier to use, and when we're trying to find an angle, this one's easier to use. So that's for an angle, and the way it's given to you on the sheet, that's going to be for a side. So this is the statement, isn't it? We're trying to find x, which is an unknown side, and so I'll write the formula out first. So it's a on sine A is equal to b on sine of b. And then we just insert the information. We've got, this is side A, that's what we're trying to solve. So that's x. The angle is 115, so we've got x on sine 115 is equal to b, which corresponds with 19, on top of sine 34. Okay, we're solving for x, so that means what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by sine 115. Okay, because if we're performing that multiplication over here, this will cancel and we're left just with x. And so this is what we want to put into our calculator. Okay, we need to make sure it is in degrees because the angles that we're provided with are in degrees. So I've evaluated that one already. I got 30.79, which is 30.8. If you get a unit, centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to do one up here, and then I'm going to leave the one next to it on the sheet for you to do. Okay, but basically I'm going to go through 4 examples. We're going to have 2 with the sine rule. We're going to use the sine rule to solve a side, and then the sine rule to solve an angle, and then the same with the cosine rule. Finding an unknown side with the cosine rule, and then finding an unknown angle with the cosine rule. So we'll do 4 up here together, and then there's 4 on the sheet for you to do, which will spend about 10 minutes, and then we'll look at exercise 3H. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We've got an unknown angle using the sine rule. So I've said if we're finding an unknown angle, this is the best presentation to use. So I'll write it out again. We've got sine A on top of side A is equal to sine B on top of side B. And so we'll go, well, this is angle A, this can be side A because they're opposite one another. If this is side B, this is going to be angle B. Let's put all of the information in. So we'll have sine 59, sine A on 27 equal to sine of 59 on 24. Okay, multiply both sides by 27. That's going to cancel for us there. And we can evaluate that, all right, but I'm just going to leave it as it is, okay? And in fact, what I'm going to write in the next step is A is going to be inverse of sine of whatever this is that we calculate. So I could draw an arrow. I'm just going to put the answer. Okay, whatever that is when we evaluate, we're finding inverse sine of that. Remember, that's how we do find an angle, isn't it? So what you could just type into your calculator is sine minus 1 of this whole thing. All right, or you can use the recall the answer button, which is shift minus on your calculator. So when I've evaluated that one, I got 74.6 degrees. Excellent. Okay, let's move on to the cosine rule. And we've got both representations of the cosine rule written at the top there. And it's written in 3 ways. You don't need to remember all 3 ways. I just go with the first one. A squared is b squared plus c squared. Take 2bc cos a, and then dictate around that. Okay, so we're going to say this is side A. That's what we're trying to solve, and that makes this angle A. And then B and C are the other sides of the triangle. It doesn't matter which way we label them. But let's say here's B, here's C. And so then for a side, we're making that statement. A squared is B squared plus C squared. Take 2bc cos of A. Okay, so let's input that information. In fact, I'm just going to sort of do it all in one step. Like it's good to think about these things quickly if we can. So A corresponds with X, doesn't it? And I'm going to move the square root over here straight away. X is the square root of, and I'm going to input all the information in here. So 31 squared plus 21 squared, take 2 times 21 times 31, cos of 111. Alright, so you just put in what's B, put it there, what's C, put it there, and then cos of the internal angle there. And so if you evaluate that, I've got here 43.22, what was that again, centimetres, 43.2. Okay, last one. We're using the cosine rule to find an angle. And so when it's represented as finding an angle, we've got cos of A is B squared plus C squared, take A squared, on 2 times B times C. All right? And so again, like we said, it's like try and think about it as succinctly as possible. Let's identify A and B. If that's the angle we're trying to find, then this is the side A, angle A and side A. And then I've said B and C don't matter. So then we'll just go straight to A is the inverse cos of, and we'll input all of that information. 23 squared plus 9 squared, take 19 squared on top of 2 times 23 times 19. Okay, and when I've evaluated that, I got 53.0. Okay. So yeah, give you about 10 minutes. Have a go at the ones alongside the examples we just did together. Thank you.